both tetracarbonyl nickel and tetracyanidonickellate are diamagnetic. The hybridization of nickel in these complexes. So we want to find out hybridization. Let's do that by applying valence bond theory. Nickel here has atomic number 28. First, let's consider this complex. Nickel has atomic number 28. It is in zero oxidation state. Therefore, all 28 electrons are with nickel. When carbonyl groups are approaching nickel, the configuration looks like this. Argon, which accounts for 18 electrons. The electrons move to the 3D subshell like this. And what's remaining here is 4s and 4p. So out of 28 electrons, if we deduct argon, then 10 electrons are still remaining in 3D, paired up in 3D due to presence of ligands. It has gone to 3D, and therefore 3D now is completely filled. This complex therefore cannot exhibit dsp2 hybridization in spite of strong ligand. There is no space in D. Hence, it has to select sp3 hybridization. The incoming electrons occupy sp3 hybrid orbitals. Therefore, the shape also will be tetrahedral. In contrast to this, when we consider NiCN42-, nickel here is in +2 oxidation state. So, out of 28 electrons, 2 electrons are lost. Hence, we have 26 electrons. Apart from argon, this accounts for 8 electrons, which can be arranged in this fashion: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. But due to the approaching ligand, this electron can be pushed here because of strong ligand field effect, freeing up this d orbital. So, along with 4s and 4p, dsp2 hybridization takes place. dsp2 hybridization results in square planar complexes. The electrons of the ligand fill dsp2 hybrid orbitals. We can see that both the compounds are diamagnetic, but there is a difference in the hybridization. Nickel tetracarbonyl is sp3, whereas this compound here, the second compound, tetracyanidonickell, is dsp2 hybridization. Answer is option B.